Yeah. Thanks for that, guys. I'm looking forward to communicating with you later.
Yes, yes. All those of you, even those of you who looked at me and immediately called me Somalian because you've never actually seen an African face to face, so you don't know what we look like.
I mean,
So,
that's just going to amuse me for days to come. Because, yeah, I look at you all the time and think, Somalian, yeah, that's it.
oh yeah, yeah, totally, 100%, 100%. I mean,
You look about as Somalian as I do.
I mean, think about. I mean, honestly, right? Look at it. Go to this. Go to the Olympics. Watch out the 10,000 meters. They all look like me. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
so
seriously, nearly like me, except my hair is probably a little bit straighter.
all right, cool. So I believe that is those are all the ones that we had. We will keep we will keep all the I'll say the sexist and the racist ones. We'll keep them off. We'll keep them off. But if you really want to go find that, go trolling on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll find them, because Instagram does seem to be a nicer place. And right, and now we go into the final thing we're going to talk about, and that is going to be how to get to heaven from Belfast. So, Holly, you haven't said anything, so I'll let you take this away. Tell us about how to get to heaven from Belfast. Tell us what it's about.
I mean, one might argue that I've said plenty, just not necessarily with any particular purpose or substance. So, How to Get to Heaven from Belfast is a series by the creator of Derry Girls,
Lisa McGee.
McGee, who is clearly just marvelous.
Yes.
The premise of it is that three friends receive an email to let them know, oh no, it's a phone call, to let them know that an old childhood friend of theirs, whom they had fallen out of touch with, has died, and inviting them over to Ireland, to Northern Ireland, for the wake.
Mm.
So they convene. They're three quite different characters. One has stayed close to home and is, broadly speaking, a carer to her entirely healthy mother. Um, Another is a mother to three, two
Three.
or
Yeah,
three quite
three.
rambunctious children
Yes.
who are as irritating as children are capable of being.
That's
And
Robin, played by Sinead Keenan.
exactly. And the third is a scriptwriter for a detective show, a
Yes.
very successful detective show.
Sure, played by Roísín Gallagher, and the first one was Dara, played by, I'm going to try and get this, Keeling. I can't remember her last name. Keep
Let me,
talking.
I will check the pronunciations here
It's
because
it's either Queeling or Keeling,
let me have a look.
because I checked the cat. It's one of those. It's an Irish name that is written in such a way that English speakers look at that and go, what? But it's, yeah,
Need to
it's
get better at your isn't it? Yeah, so
it's
there's Roisin Gallagher as Saoirse,
yeah,
Sinead Keenan is Robin. Oh, she is a good one.
Keeling. It's, I can't remember her last name. Who plays Dara?
Dunne.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, Keeling
yeah,
Dunn. Yeah,
that one is a push even for me, and I'm not too bad with Irish names.
yeah, yeah. Because there's a football player, there's a football goalkeeper who plays for, he keeps for Brentford. He's the Brentford's number one goalkeeper. He has a very similar first name, and each time they say it on TV, I'm like, what? Because it the way it's written, I'm like, and they sort of like rush through it, and I'm like, no, say it again, slower. I need to know how to pronounce this name. But yeah, it's like, it's Keeling, but or Queeling, depending on your accent. All right, cool. So anyway, them three.
So these three very different friends who have stayed in touch, but are not as close as they once were, start heading back or heading off to this little, very, very, very small town called Knock,
Knock
where
Dara.
not Dara, where their friend's wake is due to be held, and they arrive in this in the middle of nowhere, having had various mini crises along the way, um, to find themselves in not the spa hotel they had been expecting, a hotel that used to have a spa. I'm okay with that spoiler. Who is managed by the one, the only, over to you, Tosin.
Ardal O'Hanlon. Although,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
also known as Father Dougal. Yeah, that Ardal
Yes.
O'Hanlon is the manager of this hotel, and essentially this show. If I may jump for a second, this show revels in its Irishness. It revels in the fact that, and so you have all these people come. Ardal O'Hanlon comes up, and it's kind of like Father Dougal left Craggy Island and decided to open up a hotel and open up a hotel in Donegal, and everything he says, just kind of like, no human would say that. What is wrong? And there's things that happen when they're on the road in the mountains in Ireland, and the things that they come across and everything like that. There's a bit with Jesus Christ, which is just kind of like, it is just, yeah. Holly's just done chef's kiss for but the bit with Jesus Christ. Honestly, there's a bit with a cow. There's anyway. Sorry, Holly, carry on.
Full of touches of delight. And they realise that something very strange has happened, and they are not sure what has happened to their friend or former school friend. And one sees flashbacks and things to their childhood, and or teen years, and you know that there was a thing.
Yes.
And you are not initially quite sure what the thing is or was.
Yeah.
And off we go into a 10 episode, or is it 8 episodes?
It's 8 episodes, yeah.
An 8 episode caper that is a mixture of extreme comedy, a bit of thrilliness, a lot of mysteryness, and a great deal of fun, populated by members of the cast of Derry Girls.
Yes.
And there are some fabulous videos out there that will run through each character and show you who they were in Derry Girls. And it is, they're all over the place, and they are as marvelous in this as they were in Derry Girls.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Derry Girls thing is quite obvious, and it's the fact that I think the show itself, there is one huge, massive meta moment, massively meta Derry Girls moment where you're like, oh, for goodness sake, come on. That I think if it was a show that had less charm and less wit about it, it would be annoying and it would be cloying and it would be stupid as hell. But because this show has so much charm about it, they get away with it. They get away with it. But it is so. I mean, I can't say much more than that, because saying much more than that would just get into spoilers, because you have to start talking about what this moment is. But there's a massively meta Derry Girls moment. But the whole show, it is really, and I said this even while we started watching it, that it's like watching the Derry Girls. Is like, because there's 4 Derry Girls, obviously there's 4 friends, and it's like watching the Derry Girls, but like maybe 30 years on from when they were in Derry Girls. So imagine that was in the 90s. Imagine that 30 years have passed, they've grown up, and this is their lives now. And you can actually you can point to almost every member of this. You can point to Robin, or you can point to Dara, you can point to Saoirse, and you can be like, okay, that's the one, that's who they were in Derry Girls. That's who they were in Derry Girls. That's who they were in Derry Girls. And this is just them grown up. And it's kind of like Lisa McGee has gone, okay, what happens if they grow up 30 years time and then we shove them into a crime story? What will happen? And I'm here for it. I'm kind of like, okay, cool, let's see what happens. Next thing Lisa McGee writes, okay, what happens if we throw the Derry Girls into a Korean drama? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I mean,
I'll just say, as a brief important cast mention for anyone else who is as sad as I am at the departure of the Wheel of Time, Lanfear is in this and plays Greta.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I was wondering where she came from, because I was like, she looks familiar. She has the kind of face that looks like I should know her.
You know her. She's Lanfear.
Well, I think I never watched Wheel of Time, but she has the kind of face that looks like I should know her. She has the kind of face that you look at and go like, she looks like she should be a star. And it's like, yeah. But anyway, but I think the whole thing
on stage the other week, which is a complete deviation from the Wheel of Time.
Okay, all right. But the thing is, I think the whole thing of How to Get to Heaven from Belfast, the whole show, it feels like, do you remember that episode of Derry Girls where they go back in time to show their parents when the parents were kids?
Yeah.
And it feels like that episode of Derry Girls has been turned into its own show. Even down to the tattoos thing. There's like tattoos play a big part of this, and tattoos played a big part of that episode. Even down to that, it feels like that episode was almost kind of like, when she wrote it, she was like, I wonder if, and she's taken that and has turned it into things. Having said that, I do think it's too long. I think that maybe if it had been 6 episodes, it would have been better. I think 8 episodes is a bit stretching it, because the thing I love about this show is when the three of them, because it's mostly Robin, Dara, and Saoirse, when they're together and they are bickering. It is glorious. I remember watching the first episode and being a bit scared because the first episode is just chock a block of laugh out line after laugh out loud line. And I was just kind of thinking, they cannot keep this up for 8 episodes. They cannot keep this pace up for 8 episodes because this is awesome. And I don't think that they do keep it up for 8 episodes because at some point the plot has to come in. The plot I am not as interested in, and I feel like there are some holes. There are some holes I have real serious questions about in the thriller plot and everything like that. There's one to do with the name Gay Harton, and I was like, wait, but how no, wait a second. You can't just brush that on the carpet. Come back here. We need to talk about this Gay Harton thing. That doesn't make sense. And Holly, maybe we can argue about it and you can tell why it makes sense. It does a similar thing to Derry Girls where it has 90s needle drops all over the place. It just keeps playing 90s music. I feel like it's a bit too much in this show than it is in Derry Girls. Some of them are like, yes. Other ones I'm like, you just played a 90s needle drop like 30 seconds ago. Stop. No need to play another one. And it's, yeah, but all in all, I thought this show was great. I thought this show was good. Even with my reservations of it being too long and all that kind of stuff, and the mystery plot thing, I think is a bit contrived. But I love, and one of the things I love how Irish it is. I love how unapologetically Irish it is. I love how the fact that there's just things that you go, I haven't seen anything like this. No, this isn't English TV. This is definitely Irish. And another little bugbear. It did make me start Googling how. It did make me start Googling the distance between places in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland are, because people do seem to get from place to place too quickly.
Very close and very short distance.
No, I looked it up. It's like 2 hours. It's like Dublin is about 2 hours from Belfast, and but even with that, I'm like, that seemed a little bit close. So like zooming around the islands, so like it seems a bit too close. It seems a bit too quick. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, I thought it was great. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
And I'm going to go a 4.25 out of 5.
4.25 out of 5. For How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. And it does end in a way that it could be continued.
But also doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. As I said, I would love it if Lisa McGee just decided, I'm going to take the Derry Girls and age them up, age them down, whatever, but just put them into a different situation. Because I really feel like this is like Derry Girls in a murder mystery. Kind of like...
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Derry Girls go to Treasure Island.
There is a bit of this that's like Derry Girls on holiday.
Yeah.
There is a bit of it that is like Derry Girls on holiday.
Famous Five reboot we never knew we needed.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I think that the cast. I mean, Roísín Gallagher is somebody. Well, I think Sinéad Keenan is the first time I've seen her be. It's the first time I've seen her be comedic in something, and she's quite good at it. Like, because her character is quite highly strung. There's a bit with her husband and waking up her husband in bed. The way she does it, I mean, it's hilarious. Roísín Gallagher is one of those people who I'm looking at and going, I need to, like, she's good. I need to find out more what she looks. I mean, the fact that she looked, the first time I saw her, and I still do think that I'm waiting for the show where she and Suran Jones play sisters. Because I think that Roísín Gallagher and Suran Jones they look similar. They look similar from a distance. They're a bit like when we did an AI picture of Sharon. They look like, one of them is the AI, one of them is the real deal, one of them is the AI picture of the thing. Kind of like them, but no, anyway.